This content is brought to you by BEC Financial Technologies, developing and operating IT for Danish banks.
Hello, everyone. I feel the energy in the room, so maybe it's coffee, maybe it's curiosity. I hope that we will check it together. I'm Ola, and I'm diversity consultant at BEC. And today I will take you to a journey powered by curiosity, but also together we explore a beautiful world of neurodiversity. 20 days ago, my curiosity led me somewhere completely unexpected, the Himalayas. And the Himalayas turned out to me one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen, but one of the most dangerous experiences I have ever had in my life. And I should admit that before this trek, I had almost zero hiking experience. So definitely I can say that curiosity was the main reason why I find myself there. And what I learned during this trip, that all the adventure, even though it's climbing the mountains or starting the career IT, start with curiosity and it's shaped by our unique choices. Okay, but before we start, I'm really curious, what comes to your mind when you hear the word neurodiversity? Have you ever heard about the neurodiversity? Any ideas? Yeah, go ahead. Mhm. Okay, that's about diversity, that we are different. Yeah? Right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. Definitely, I have brain in my definition because I prepare one for you. And according to Harvard Health Publishing, neurodiversity describes the concept that people think, people experience and interact with the world around them in many different ways. And there is, as you said, no one single right way of thinking, learning, and processing informations. What else? They said that these differences are not that deficits, what is important. They are simply part of rich diversity of humanity, much more like gender, culture, or nationality. And what else? They tell that every brain works in its own unique way. And this uniqueness is something to value and embrace. I know that here we have a lot of IT people and you love numbers, so I prepared the short statistics for you. Do you know that from 50 up to 20% of the global population is neurodivergent? In these books, you can find the conditions like dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, ADHD, and many. From 50 up to 20%, it means that if in this room we have 50 people right now, every sixth person is neurodivergent. So it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of us, I would say, because I'm neurodivergent too. But here is a twist: that even though within this 85% of neurotypical population, we are all in different places on cognitive spectrum. And this is important because it means that this topic, neurodiversity, is relevant for everyone. No one is excluded from this. But I prepared the statistics, I prepared the definition, blah, blah, blah. But I know that you are curious. What does it mean to be on different points on cognitive spectrum? Have you ever felt that you are in the room full of people and you think differently from those around you? That's a really simple question, I know, but this is exactly neurodiversity in action. Because being on the different points on cognitive spectrum It means that we process information in different ways. Example, some of us see the process instantly in the charts. Others need to step-by-step instruction. We learn and solve problems differently, which means that some of us love follow recipes, others improvise. Of course, both can make a great cake. We communicate and interact with different ways. Some can send a message meeting at 3, others need face-to-face interaction to explain everything with details. We manage attention and we focus in different ways. Some of us can work for hours, others need a break every 30 minutes. And finally, we have a lot of differences in our sensory processing. It means that some of us love noise and loud music, others need silence to stay on track. And all these areas like processing, learning information, communicating, I assume that they are really, really important in our work. So we need them to stay efficient, to do our job well. What I can also assume that in this room, we have very, very few people who work completely alone. I assume that work of us work in teams, collaborate with each other in smaller or bigger teams. And to work effectively, we need to, first of all, understand ourselves, which means that we need to understand how we process information, how we operate, what do we need to stay focused. What else? We need to understand our colleagues. So we as a team collaborate, how I communicate, if we understand this data in the same way. And this is even more complicated because we need to understand how we operate as a team. So what is our team dynamics? And all these approaches, then this approach, I called individual approach, because this is more like digging into our preferences, asking ourselves and asking our colleagues, how do you feel? But for a second, let's move to our workplaces. And here I'm always curious, do you feel that this individual approach, asking questions and checking, is present there? Do you feel that if you start the project, you ask your colleagues, what helps you focus? How do you like your data served? How do you prefer to start the process of creating ideas? I'm curious where you are. How do you feel this and what kind of experience you have? Because what I observe is that in many places we have something like standardized approach. And standardized approach is called one-size-fits-all approach. And it assumes that everyone works, learns, and communicates the same way. And here is a tricky part, because instead of asking the question about our individual preferences and checking with each other, we have a scenario that we know that our brains work completely different. We have different cognitive preferences, but we ended up with organizations where meeting has the same length. We have a lot of standards, we have the same processes, we start the projects in the same way. So using my hiking metaphor, it's like using hiking boots, the same size for everyone. So in that sounds like funny story. You're lucky. You're lucky, and I'm really happy that it changed. Of course, this is my observation, and I'm really open to have a chat after my how it looks like, how it looks like. But here is a good news. And the good news is that curiosity could be our secret weapon, because some of us have an organization, as you said, really open, some not. But what we can actually do, we can be curious about our colleagues' preferences, because probably we couldn't change a big system over the nights. We couldn't make big things, but always we can be curious and always we can ask. And another time, when you approach the project, you can check with your colleagues what helps you focus best during the meetings. How do you prefer to receive updates? Visually, verbally, or in writing? How can I create the space for creative ideas in our team? And always remember about yourself. So it's really nice to make the audit for yourself and ask yourself, what kind of structure helps me plan and prioritize? When do I feel the most innovative or inspired? And this simple question can open the door for three really important things. Can open the door to better understanding, stronger teamwork, and more inclusive workplaces, which sounds really, really nice. And we start in the mountains, so let's get back for mountains for a second, because when you start a new project, you can think about your ways of working. And let's imagine that is like a planning the Himalaya trek, Himalaya expedition, and you have two options. First one is helicopter ride. It's easy. I should admit that it's quite expensive. It's really standardized approach, because in Himalayas just a few restricted area when helicopter can move, and views will be nice, but I guarantee that experience could be not as deep as hiking. And hiking is the second option. In my opinion, is much more individualized, because during this trek it might be tough, it might be long, it might be a lot of unknown, it might be no electricity, but guarantee that you will learn a lot about yourself and about others. And the whole experience, it could be amazing and unforgettable itself. Thank you very much. I will be there probably looking for cookies. So if you would like to hang out, you can find me. Here is my LinkedIn profile, and enjoy the rest of beautiful presentations. Thank you.
Do we have any questions? Oh, great.
You said that you are struggling with the neurodiversity. Can you give us maybe your tips, which was working for you?
What works for me? I am an ADHD person, and definitely what works for me is planning, because it's the most challenging part of my everyday life. So I know that I should put a lot of attention to this. And I'm really happy that we have right now a lot of applications and AI solutions you can download and just to keep it as your best friend and use it every single day. So definitely. And what I recommend is definitely this kind of audit. When you have a time just to sit down and think, what is my strong traits, what can I do the best, what can I help, because maybe I stuck with planning, but on the other hand, creativity is my really strong power. So how to balance this and work of this, you can struggle. So self-awareness and checking what's changed, what can I help, etc. Even though ask different people around you, okay, can you give me the feedback? What do you think about my work? Can I change some decisions or improve something at work? So I think that's audit, collaboration with ourselves, and being open for all the solutions, like even though applications, etc.
Yeah. Who would like to go next? Oh.
Thank Ola, you presented the way of how we can approach the neurodiversity people around us, and it's kind of individual approach.
Definitely.
So, what would you say about the strategy for upper management to support neurodiversity?
I know that I repeat myself, but being curious, to be honest, it's my advice, because neurodiversity, it's actually really complicated topic because it's really individual. Sometimes you can have two ADHD person, but working completely in the very different way and struggle with very, very, very thin topic. And in neurodiversity, we have something like co-occurrence. So many different conditions co-occurrence each other. So for example, in the room, we can have ADHD person with autism. I'm an ADHD person with dyslexia. So always we need to have in our minds that this is really individual approach, and ask and be open and ask, okay, what works for you? What do you prefer? How can I help you during work?
How can we convince upper management to support the strategy?
Okay, that's also really, really important question. And from my perspective, when we are open for neurodiversity and when we try to prepare the teams which understand each other, of course, what we raise, it's collaboration, which is super important. When we understand how we receive data, how we understand how we communicate each other, definitely we save the time for misunderstanding, for creating bad solutions. Another time, neurodiversity and creating neurodiverse teams, they are really important for innovation. So, because when in the room, we have a people with the same mindset, we couldn't create something innovative and something great. So innovation, save the time, collaboration. And to be honest, in the AI time, in my opinion, neurodiversity, it's some kind of smart leadership. Because just the simple things, right now, AI can generate for us. But when it comes the soft skills and management and the leadership, you have to know a lot about this to be a good leader.
Thank you so much. We have special award for you.
Wow.
Big applause.
First award in my life. Thank you.